Hello everybody, this is En Route, and today I have a message for the gentleman. So I was thinking about this concept because, I was just learning about male psychology in certain spaces. It's not all spaces, certain spaces, probably better to find your mate in church, something like that, right? But, for people that don't go to church, which is a lot of people, right? The dating field can be a minefield, right? And life is difficult enough. But what's really interesting to me is that some, obviously, just some, not all, because, we can't just pigeonhole people based on their sex. And we can't, and what that means is, you're just cornering someone, or you're just kind of crossing them off just because of, their sex, even though their potential, their capacity is far greater than what their sex is. So some men have malicious intent towards women. And what I mean by malicious intent is that they go after women that they don't actually have intentions. Sorry, one moment. They don't actually have intentions of being with or taking seriously, right? So it's a malicious intent for a man to have the thought process of a woman. Oh, she looks easy, then I should try to get her because she looks easy, right? And that's malicious, right? That's malicious behavior towards women, because what you're doing is you're manipulating this girl into thinking she has a possible chance with you. But not only are you giving her a possible idea of possibly having a chance with you, you're also purposely wasting her time, energy, and bandwidth, even though you know you have malicious intent, or even though they know they have malicious intent, right? And I'm talking about girls that are unaware, unawakened, a little immature, naive. They don't understand how this world works. And so men that do know how this world works, they prey on women or girls who are naive to the games that men play. And so maliciously, they'll take advantage of somebody who doesn't understand and who might be lost, or whatever the case might be, whatever he thinks, right? And just to cut in for a second while I'm editing here, is that it's not just about, he thinks she's cute and easy and maybe he just wants to, date her, whatever. It's more malicious than that. Like, guys will go after a girl with the intent of being absolutely irresponsible with another human being. This other biological form is being manipulated and thrusted into an emotional, hormonal, tidal wave tornado of a situation because of the irresponsible, malicious actions of these men who do understand what they're doing, and uses that girl for his own personal pleasure and gain, and toys with her psychologically and hormonally, affects her whole system, right? Does the whole roller coaster thing, right? The whole dopamine hits, and the thing is that if you are unaware, and if, which is most women, you're going to be, you can get sucked into this pretty easily, right? But it's not only about getting sucked into something easily. It is the intention and everything behind it. Some of these intentions are quite literally to destroy your life, or quite literally to bring you down a dark path where you're potentially on drugs or something. And the thing is a lot of people don't realize or don't like to pay attention to how dark it gets. The whole kind of culture we have around dating and sex and all of these things, where men think it's completely okay to absolutely destroy these young girls' lives or these unassuming women's lives, right? So it's not just, I got sucked into something. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know better, and if you are trusting and you have a good heart and you haven't had certain life experiences, it's very dangerous for you as a woman to get sucked into these games. And as a man, it's also dangerous for you to continue to breed children in a world where you're going to perpetuate the suffering of half of society, to the point where we are today, where a lot of women don't even want children because of how psychotic it is to raise a child in this world today. Even when being dedicated, married, and all of that stuff, there's so many demons that can get pulled into a situation because of this malicious way that people go about life. People don't think about their daughters, they just think about their dicks. And so it gets to a point where it's like, as men, where do you guys hold the responsibility in all this when women are not the heads of this whole man-made world? Even though we get blamed for a lot of things, where do you want things to progress towards? So men know that. And because men know that, well, when they come across someone like me or whatever, it's easy for me to kind of deconstruct what they're doing, because a lot of the times they make the girls believe that they're doing much more for them than they really are. And that's kind of the whole psychological thing, where he wants you to believe that he's doing so much by what he says to you, but his actions usually don't align with it. And that's a good tell as to what you're dealing with. Now, if you're one of those girls that get easily love struck, and you want to make love with a man quickly, I get it. But it's a very dangerous game to play, because once you guys have, did the do, it puts you in the most vulnerable position, because now things are kind of in his hands, right? He can decide to treat you like trash, or treat you like, somebody that has, given herself to him, right? And so a lot of the times guys will punish you for giving yourself to them, right? And so a lot of women don't understand. They get pressured into being intimate with a guy, and as soon as there's just too much pressure going on, you should already know that it's probably not a good idea, right? And if there's a lot of inconsistencies, you should know it's probably not a good idea, right? But for those girls that they haven't learned those lessons yet, I just want to consider what this man has actually done for you before you give yourself to him. Because then you're not just giving yourself to him. She's not just giving herself to you. She's giving herself emotionally, spiritually, physically, and in so many different ways. And so when she decides to make that huge step towards you, whether it's on the first date or the fifth date or a year later, it's special for her. It's important for her, right? And why it's so important to wait is because a guy that has genuine intentions for you will stick around and be there with you. But a guy that has malicious intent, if it becomes too difficult to get you in bed, he'll eventually just fall to the wayside, and you won't actually have to worry about him because you're too boring. And so, a lot of the times, when a girl, she gives it up early, she doesn't realize why she gets treated like crap. And now, here's the thing. Even if you do give it up early, the whole reason why giving it up early is a bad idea is because the likelihood of getting abused is going to be higher, because he's still going to, he now that he knows that he has a source of sex, he's going to try to continue to have that source, even if he has malicious intent. And so you might fall into that trap of thinking, oh, well, this is love still because you guys are being intimate, even though he's not doing any of the things that actually prove that he genuinely cares about you, right? And then you get put into this hormonal roller coaster that ends up putting you in a bad situation. And then, you end up getting emotionally abused, because it's really difficult to prove emotional abuse, right? And so as women, we have to protect ourselves, right? And, as men, I find it interesting that it's such an acceptable thing to do, to go after women who they think are, just easy, as if you guys can't attain something that is, equally yoked to your potential. But I guess that's a whole other question. That's a whole other thing, right? It's just confusing. And it's good to just have this conversation and get all of this stuff out there. So I think that is malicious intent towards women. And I think men need to rethink their spiritual repercussions for when they do these things to women who have good intentions for them, right? And so, looking at things from a more loving place, looking at things from a more, in a more logical place, in a way that's not going to taint your own soul, right? Maybe we should stop looking at women as like trinkets and scorers and the things off of your checklist, and I got to number whatever. Instead of that, why don't we just look at each other like we're all human beings here, and then things can start working out better, And then here's the problem with that whole thing, that then ignorant women will then feel justified in hurting men. And see, that's what you guys perpetuate, especially because the thing is, you pick women that are stupid, right? And then that stupid girl does something stupid, and then you guys wonder why. And so she never gets educated, and then you wonder why you have all these women out here doing what they're doing, and then you all complain about it, right? So, it's I guess, I don't know, it's a catch-22, right? I guess if you want all of the hedonism, you have to take what comes with that, the repercussions, the karmic blows, the revenge of the stupid woman. So there's that. But anyways, gentlemen, this is a message for you. I wanted to just give you some food for thought, and I hope you enjoyed this message. You all have a great day. This is En route, and I'm out.